This is Pastor Ray Frank, Syracuse Wesleyan Church. And today is December the 22nd, really close to Christmas. I'm excited because a lot of family are coming in for Christmas, and not the least of which is my youngest grandson, Samuel, who is now running the camera for me. He's a regular cameraman. How about that? Hey, have you ever thought about the best gift you ever received, particularly as a child? Or it could have been the opposite. You know, you opened somebody's gift and maybe you said the words, "Oh, just what I wanted," but in reality, it was really something else you were hoping for that Christmas. Well, gifts are interesting. And I've been reading and rereading the story of the wise men in Matthew's Gospel, chapter 2. Preached on it yesterday. And, I begin to realize that their gift giving is an important part of that story. After all, the baby born in a manger is surely the greatest gift of all time given to mankind. So what do you give in return? What do you give a baby? And it's only fitting that the response should be the gifts of the most precious and valuable kind. Well, it reminded me of a story. I sort of vaguely remembered it, and so I went into Google and did the research and actually bought a Kindle version of an author by the name of O. Henry. Some of you may remember he wrote a short story called The Gift of the Magi. And in this story, he has two young wedded couples, Della and Jim, and it's their first Christmas, and they live really at a poverty level, barely eking out a subsistence in their little apartment. And Della has tried so hard to save up some money to get her husband that she loved very deeply a great gift, but all she could come up with is $1.87. And so she's really feeling bad. She's not being able to get something she really wanted. And then she had this great idea. And she had long, luxurious hair that hung down to the back of her knees. And so she decided to go, and it was beautiful hair, but she decided to go sell the hair to a wig maker. And the wig maker gave her like $20. Now, in the early 1900s, that was a lot of money. And so with that money, then Della went and bought a watch chain for her husband. Her husband's greatest treasure was a gold watch that had belonged to his father and his grandfather before that. But it was a pocket watch, and all he had to hold it was just an old leather strap that he used. And so Della wanted to get him this beautiful chain, gold chain for his gold watch. And she pictured how many times he'd pull it out of his pocket each day to tell people the time and be so pleased with this gift. And so she went home and got ready for him to come home that Christmas Eve night. And it's interesting, Henry used this little phrase as she was waiting. She heard her husband coming, and she had a habit of saying little silent prayers about the simplest everyday things, and now she whispered, "Please God, make him think I'm still pretty." She'd cut her hair. What heart-wrenching words. Her knee-length, cascading, beautiful brown hair had been her most prized possession, but she has just cut it off to sell the wig maker. She does this so she'll have the money to buy this great crystal or great golden chain for his gold pocket watch. Well, so in a tear-jerking twist in this classic story, we learn that Jim has just sold his cherished gold watch in order to buy a present for Della. And the present was two beautiful turquoise combs that were to go in her hair. She had looked at them in the shop window. She had yearned for those. He knew it was something she really wanted. So here's the story. Each of them gave up their most prized possession to give to the other one something that they would go along with that prize. Well, what's interesting, Della now has cropped her hair, but with the finest gift her young husband could sacrifice to buy. And Jim now has no watch, but with the most precious gift his young bride could sacrifice to bring him on that Christmas Eve. Well, here's O. Henry's ending paragraph of the story that I thought was meaningful, and I had forgotten about it till I reread it. He says, the Magi, as you know, were wise men, wonderfully wise men, who brought gifts to the babe in the manger. They invented the art of giving Christmas presents. Being wise, their gifts were no doubt wise ones. And then he goes, and here I have lamely related to you the uneventful chronicle of two foolish children in a flat who most unwisely sacrificed for each other the greatest treasures of their house. But in a last word to the wise of these days, let it be said that all who give gifts, these two were the wisest. Of all who give and receive gifts such as they are wisest, they are the Magi. Well, that story still stirs my heart. I read it when I was in high school or maybe junior high a long time ago. But that thoughtlessly giving their treasured possession to get something for the other person still touches my heart. Well, and of course it reminded me of the greatest gift we have ever received. That is the gift of Jesus himself, Emmanuel, God with us. God the Father emptied heaven of its greatest treasure so that you and I could be brought close to him. Our only response should be to joyfully, gladly give back to him all that we have and all that we are. It belongs to him. Surrendering completely to him and become a part of his family that will rejoice with him for all eternity. So, in your gift giving this Christmas season, save the very best for Jesus. That would be yourself. Give him yourself. It's the only gift that can in any way match the wonderful gift God has given you. Have a great week and have a very merry and blessed Christmas. God bless you.